Reason number one for why I need a will if I have no dependents is to provide control over who gets your assets that you own at the time of your death. If you die without a will, Tennessee law will control who gets your assets as a result of your death. If you die without a will, this means that you die intestate. As a result, the laws on intestate succession will apply and your assets will pass to certain of your relatives, regardless of whether or not this matches what you want to happen with your assets. However, if you have a will, then you can control who ends up with your assets. So if you don't have a will, if either or both of your parents survive you, all of your assets will pass to them, even if, for example, you prefer for those assets to go to your nieces and nephews because your parents and siblings do not need the money. If you die with a will, your will could specify that all of your assets will go to your nieces or nephews or to selected nieces or nephews. This is the most important reason for having a will, which is determining who gets the assets as a result of your death. Reason number two for why do I need a will if I have no dependents is to make sure that you have someone that you trust who will distribute your assets based on your intentions as to who gets what. In addition to specifying who gets your assets if you die without a will, Tennessee law also gives a preference to who can administer your estate and handle distribution of your assets to your next of kin under the laws of intestacy if you don't have a will at the time of your death. So, for example, if you have elderly parents and do not want to burden them with this responsibility, you may pick someone else to administer your estate, such as one of your siblings. Under your will, you can select who can handle administration of your estate as your executor. That way, you can make the decision rather than letting Tennessee law select this person for you. Reason number three for why I need a will if I don't have any dependents is to avoid any disputes among your family members and others over who gets your assets if you were to die. Over the years of my practice of law, I've developed many expressions, one of which is that every family is dysfunctional. It's just a question of degree. The corollary to this expression is that there are two ways to split up a family, one with a family business and second with an inheritance. This expression and this corollary tie in directly to the third reason for having a will, which is to avoid creating or further aggravating any family dysfunction by a dispute after your death about who gets your assets and then who has responsibility to make those decisions. By including provisions in your will as to your rationale for your decisions as to who gets what assets or who you select to administer your estate, this may avoid squabbles or jealousy that could arise after your death based on who inherits your assets after your death or who is entitled to administer your estate. This is particularly important if either or both of your parents are divorced and remarried and you have step siblings or other persons that you consider to be family members, even if you're not legally related to them. Only by having a will would you be able to benefit or have assets go to the half siblings, step siblings, or other persons that are not legally related to you because Tennessee law would provide otherwise.